Welcome to Brook and Bramble Farm Podcast
with Chris
and Micah,
where we talk about budget homesteading,
homemaking,
and whatever else is on our minds.
We're back.
We're back.
Episode something.
8, I think.
8. We've done 8 episodes, and maybe people are actually interested in what we talk about.
We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I know it's kind of fun to do, though.
It is fun because we like to talk to each other anyway.
Yeah, it's like an excuse.
But now it's like we have invisible friends talking, listening in.
It's like all these flies on our wall.
Yeah. It's
Anyway.
like you guys get to listen later and kind of, gather information or
Whatever we do.
chuckle a little here and there.
I hope there's some chuckles involved.
We hope you're chuckling.
But anyway, today we're going to talk about what, Micah?
Food.
One of our favorite subjects.
Yeah, we love food.
Yeah, we love to eat food.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get to do it as much because I'm at work a lot, but I actually like making food a lot. I think that's something that we have, and I don't know if do you like making food, or you just have to make food because...
Well, there is a strong obligation on my end, which takes a little of the fun out of it, but I enjoy it. I was going to say
experimenting with food too is fun.
It's not like my great joy. Like, I'm not one of those people who just like my time of relaxation is when I'm in the kitchen cooking. Right. I don't know. I like it. It's fine.
Yeah. But I think specifically we're going to talk about cooking from scratch because there's this mentality that, your food budget or whatever that you buy from the store is not going to be healthy or it's too expensive. And so we've spent a lot of time developing a method to feed our family that is not expensive and relatively healthy.
Yeah. And there are layers to cooking from scratch. So you can say that you cook from scratch, and it could mean, I think for me, it means like I'm using ingredients and putting them together. But it does not mean, like most of the time, if I'm going to cook spaghetti and meatballs from scratch, I am not simmering down tomatoes to make the tomato sauce, although I have done that. And
once it's canned,
usually not mixing eggs and flour to make the pasta and dry it and cut it. And
although you have done that.
I have also done that. So I'm saying, though, that there's layers. Like, you could say you're cooking from scratch and be just, like, cooking from a box of pasta. Or you could say you're cooking from scratch and it means you're literally, like, doing the fundamental ingredients.
I think what we need what separates cooking from scratch from just pre-prepared meals for us is if you're using something that by itself is not edible in its current form, or is edible, I guess, in a survival scenario.
Like you're not shoveling flour into your mouth.
Right, or you're not just like eating uncooked pasta, which, you could, I guess. It's got the same nutritional value. It's just a lot harder on your teeth.
So cooking from scratch, we do cook from scratch, but it's not always so intense that everything's taking 10 hours to make. Like we need to save time most of the time. Yeah, and I think sometimes people I know that there are a lot of people that even I know that'll say, "Oh, I can't cook, so I just order in, or I just, get a frozen pizza, or I get frozen food." And I think I said it in one of the previous podcasts, but cooking meals that you can eat. You were shaming everyone who can't cook.
No, I'm saying, I'm not shaming anybody. I'm saying you absolutely can cook. Anybody really can.
It's like anything. It's a skill that you can learn.
Right, it's a skill set that you can learn, and it's actually not... To make really elaborate, fancy meals, sure, that's a skill that's going to take some time to develop. But you can make a lot of really eminently tasty foods that are nourishing and healthy and well-rounded, really for not a lot of time or money. Mm-hmm. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I will not correct you because you are not wrong. I think the best way to learn how to cook is to follow recipes. And like our oldest daughter, she's starting to learn how to cook. And she is very tempted to deviate from recipes.
Well, it's because I think she has a creative
She does. And
bone in
however, I'm trying to encourage her to follow the recipes first.
Yeah.
Because you need to get the fundamental idea of how ingredients go together to create a meal.
Right, that would be like listening to a
like
Philharmonic violinist and being like, I don't want to learn all the notes, I just want to play like the Philharmonic violinist.
Yeah, I just want to do a crazy piccolo solo right now.
Right.
But I've never learned how to read music.
Or even picked up a piccolo.
So follow recipes, and then once you get the basics down, then you can kind of experiment. And a great thing that I like about cooking and that can save a lot of money is that once you do realize like what is actually necessary in a recipe, you can start subbing ingredients or leaving stuff out. And because I used to like go to the store and buy every ingredient for a recipe, and that can get really expensive.
Yeah.
But if you have like a set like base amount of certain ingredients at home, like the basics, you can kind of put together a recipe that doesn't necessarily, like, it might call for other things that you don't have, but you can kind of make something similar because you know what's gonna make it taste good.
Right, and I think I think a lot of times people overthink, like, if I'm going to cook from scratch every single day for my family and never have a day where I can just kind of throw a frozen pizza in the oven. I mean, we do that. We do that periodically.
Don't reveal our secrets.
Yeah, but they look at recipes in recipe books that are meals, right? And, I mean, you honestly do a lot of really tasty meals that are actually very simple, but have a lot of like flavor depth, and they're all from scratch. Like a good example is like the stir-fried vegetables. Yeah. That are baked in the oven and then sheet like with a side of rice.
It's a sheet pan
meal.
Yeah,
yeah, sheet pan meal. We don't do a lot of casseroles. We're not casserole people.
Yeah.
We're not meatloaf people usually. I like meatloaf. We don't usually do that.
There are some meals that I avoid and I don't even really know why. Like lasagna. I think I've made lasagna. I don't think I've ever made lasagna. Right. I don't know why.
I don't think it's because it's hard. I just think it's never on your radar.
No, I never think about it. No, we have like a rotation, if you will, but
we do branch out periodically.
It changes seasonally. Like there's seasonal food. Like in the summer, you want burgers, you want potato salad,
you want fresh veggies,
you want corn on the cob, and then in the fall, you shift into soup mode.
Venison.
Yeah. But
wild boar.
So like when you're cooking from scratch, you have your easy meals are a little different. Like lately, an easy meal for me has been burgers, but I make the buns myself.
From scratch, yeah.
And actually, I would say making bread, buns, all our like bread items, that's been pretty recent.
Yeah, and honestly, that's probably one of the most labor-intensive things you do.
Yes, but it doesn't really feel like it because it's just kind of part of my routine now. And I used to think like when people said they would save money by cooking their own bread at home or baking their own bread, I thought that was silly because bread is so cheap at the store.
But good bread is not.
Good bread is not. So if you want to buy garbage bread, it's super cheap, like a couple bucks for a loaf of white bread. And so that, like, if that's what you want to eat, then it really doesn't. But actually, it still will save you money because it just does. I had a whole explanation.
Not backed by research or any sort of fact finding.
I literally just
it will
had
save you money.
Where I was like, I'm too tired to explain this.
Well, it's because we're always recording podcasts late at night after children have all gone to bed.
Take my word for it.
Just trust us. Micah seems trustworthy. You should believe her. She knows.
You can trust me. Instead of buying, what are bread items we would buy? Buns, hot dog rolls, or whatever. If we were doing hot dogs,
Yeah, and I feel like you've used the same bread recipe for all
bread,
of those
like
things.
sandwich bread, and then there's like whatever, like a heartier, crusty bread, tortillas.
Yeah, we make our own tortillas now,
So
which is not terribly hard.
if you put all of that onto your grocery order, or if you're shopping, it's not going to be a huge amount, but it's still going to be more than 2 bags of flour.
Right, versus flour. Yeah, 2 bags of flour, a couple of maybe eggs for various
Flour
things.
is so, like, I only
Flour's
buy,
really cheap.
I think we've said this before, we buy all purpose. We're very
No, we don't. We buy
low
whole
quality
grain. Unbleached,
people.
that's what it is.
We buy all purpose unbleached, so we don't eat bleach.
We do use our own farm raised eggs
We
though.
try not to eat bleach.
Which
And
it's very hard. I walk by the bottle of Clorox daily thinking, man, that looks tasty. But I don't do it because in my head Mike is saying not to do it.
Flour's cheap is what our flour that we get is cheap.
Yeah.
If you're buying fancy flour, maybe it won't save you money, and just forget everything I just said.
But actually, it will still, like, if you think about quality of food versus how much it costs to buy. So, yeah, you cannot make Wonder Bread for the price that Wonder Bread makes it for. But you can make much higher quality bread for not that much more than Wonder Bread. And if you want to make a semolina sourdough loaf that would cost you $10 for a piece of, for whatever you're making, you can probably make that for half the money. So Ezekiel bread, things like that can be made for a lot less than you pay in the store for it, and it will be fresh.
Yes.
That's the other thing that I think that goes, just beyond the budget. The fact that you're eating fresh, homemade stuff is always going to taste better.
Yes.
Because it doesn't have to be shipped across the country or overseas or whatever.
Yeah.
And the flour that they made it from may not have been fresh. And then you're adding that. You're just compounding it. So I think when you look at, like... Because for me, it's always a cost-benefit analysis. It's not like... just a set in stone, this is cheaper than this. Well, that's true if you wanted to compare a bicycle to a Lamborghini. Like, what you're getting for the money is very different.
Yeah.
So...
Well, so with the burgers, I used to, put burger buns on our grocery order, and then by the time I would get around to wanting to make burgers, they would be, half stale. Or
moldy.
You'd use half of them and the rest would get moldy. So making the burger buns is also helpful because they're actually very quick to make. The ones I make are you can make them in less than a half hour. And so it would be instead of running out to the store to buy burger buns, you just make them, and it actually kind of saves time.
Yeah, and so, the next thing is, you're not going to... maybe you will. Maybe you'll want to make really elaborate meals that have serving sizes that are like a half a cup for every member of your family. That's kind of fun to do every now and then. Yes. It's probably not something you want to do every day.
So with the meals, cooking from scratch, there are different seasons in life. And I'm going to get real deep.
You're really going to pontificate here.
There are seasons in life where you will have more time and
energy
and bandwidth to be thinking about.
Whoa, let's not bring in Wi-Fi terminology here. We are against wireless. No, we're not actually against wireless communications. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, you some. Oh my goodness, you made me glitch just you turned me into a glitching. I don't even know what I was saying.
There are seasons in
life where you will have more brain power than I do right now.
That Mike is currently exhibiting.
And you might be able to make more impressive meals. And then other seasons, I feel like I just went through a season where I was feeling a little more low energy, didn't want to put a lot of thought into cooking and stuff. So I was doing like, I don't know, spaghetti and meat sauce.
Which was really good.
And like, what are my other like...
Oh, the orzo. Honestly, the cream cheese orzo lemon
really
is
good.
amazing.
So
easy.
So we stock up on our essentials. So we'll get like dairy, cream cheese,
Pasta.
plain Greek yogurt, milk, half and half. We get tons of dairy, cheese. And so we get blocks of cheese and you can shred them as needed. And then...
Yeah, this is our fun tip for today.
What?
I would prefer every time to shred your own cheese. And I only say that because if you've ever bought cheese from the store that's already pre-shredded, it's really convenient. But they add, I don't know what they add to
like
it.
some kind of filler stuff.
It's not a filler, it's an anticoagulant. It's a powder. I don't know if it's cornstarch or what, but you can taste it in the cheese. The cheese never really melts all the way, and you notice it really when you're
like almost powdery.
Yeah, it's got like something in it that actually keeps the cheese from sticking together in the bag, but it also keeps the cheese from sticking together when it melts.
We have a rotary grater, so it goes really fast, and the kids pretend that they're baby birds.
Do we have that linked in our Amazon?
Yes, I think so.
If it's not linked in our Amazon store, we will do that because it's really cheap and it
easy
works amazing.
But whenever I grate cheese, the kids come over and they go, cheap, cheap, cheap. Because they want me to feed them little cheese worms.
Something you can do with your children.
Try it.
Try it today.
Family fun for the whole family.
Yes.
So
this has been Brook and Bramble child rearing.
With the lemon orzo, so we'll just kind of have all those ingredients on hand. Like I make our bone broth, because I'll get like a whole chicken. And I make after I cook the chicken in the crock pot, then I turn it into shredded chicken because it kind of just falls off the bone. And then I leave the bones in the crock pot, put like veggie scraps and stuff and garlic in there, and then fill it with water. Cook it overnight. Actually, most of the next day too. And then it's very brothy. And so I'll cook the orzo in the broth. And then...
and this all sounds really complicated, but it probably takes you...
Well, I mean, the bone broth takes like 18 hours.
No, I'm saying, but it's not taking you 18 hours. You're not,
and you don't have to make your own bone broth. That's
right, you can just buy
that I usually do. But if you cook the orzo in the bone broth, it gives it like a little extra.
It's really good.
Oomph. And then you add like cream cheese, lemon juice, lemon pepper.
Chicken.
I think that's it. Shredded chicken. And it's
amazing.
Tasty. Yes. Yeah,
but again, that comes back to like finding recipes, because I know for me, scaling a recipe to feed like 5 people, like that was some sort of like super high level skill that I had not acquired for a long time. I think you need to that's like a skill all by itself, like looking at a recipe and being like, will this feed my whole family if I build it from scratch? And so there's a lot of really, the sheet pan meals are great because they definitely produce enough to feed your whole family. But that's, as you work it out, budgeting for the raw materials, the iron ore that it takes to make the spaghetti. That's something you just kind of have to learn is
Yep.
We don't have any hard and fast rules.
You're just going to have
to do this on your own.
Figure it out.
We're so helpful.
Tip for you. Figure it all out.
We could be Betty Crocker. We just write a book that says "Figure it out." Yes. You figured out. I wrote the book.
We'd figured it out, so now it's your turn.
We're sorry. We're not very helpful.
Well, yes.
So then, logically, after you've learned how to do, and I know a lot of people who even look at our stuff or are going to listen to this probably already do a vast majority of this stuff.
Yeah, you're probably actually
we're preaching to the choir
wizened here. than we are.
Yeah, we're preaching to a choir that probably knows more about this stuff than we do.
Yeah, they're like,
I could teach this class. But the next logical step is growing the food yourself. Because that really is from scratch. Like, you literally grew your tomatoes and your basil and your wheat and your, so that's something that, we kind of touched on in starting a homestead, and like some of our other podcasts where we talk about building a homestead, even if you don't have the land. I was just thinking about how like growing food. My mom and dad have the space to grow a huge garden, but my mom has all of her tomato plants in pitchers because they're easier to manage.
Yeah.
And I was like, you could literally have all the food that you guys or that we've bought at stores, all the fresh veggies and whatever, short of like growing your own bacon in a pot, that's hard to do. But all the veggies and things like that, potatoes especially, I want to try in a tub. But all this stuff could be done on not that much area. In fact, I dare say
Okay.
that even a small apartment, if you had a south-facing window, you could actually grow
In like pots and stuff.
Yeah, in pots. You could grow, it doesn't have to be everything, but growing anything yourself feels really good.
Yeah. For sure, dude.
So, that's one aspect of it. And then you can go down that road as far as you want to go, down to raising your own game animals or raising your own livestock.
Game animals.
I plan to raise grouse and wild zebra.
Yep.
Start
a safari.
Start a safari company. It's really easy, guys. All you have to do is start a safari company where you can yield exotic meats that you can then make your own stuff from scratch. It's really simple.
That's our next helpful tip.
Our next podcast will be on beginning a safari company in New England.
Yes. I agree. You can hunt if you do that.
Honestly, for us, we've definitely had enough pest control issues that we've been able to use some of our...
Should we talk about the pie?
No. We're not going to talk about the pie right now.
Okay.
But...
I'm not going to edit that out. I'm just going to let you wonder.
If you're not an original follower, you can ponder what that means.
You never want me to bring that up again, do you?
No, not at all. But we've had issues with pests that have been attacking our chickens or our farmstead or whatever. And some of them are edible.
Some are.
And so we hate to waste animals that are otherwise needing to be handled.
Yep.
And the same thing with even thinking about our chickens. We hatch our own chickens from eggs that we get, and some of them are roosters.
Yep.
And we can't deal with 7 roosters. It's just too many roosters.
Yeah.
And so some of them ultimately have to go into the pot. And so that's like the next logical step, for me at least. Maybe not for everybody. But the next logical step is like, how do I grow my own food? How do I utilize what I've got so that I don't have to go buy all this stuff to cook from scratch? So that's, I don't know, that's part of the fun of doing what we do, is that we can kind of go down that avenue and tinker with the way life used to be before modern convenience, modern Walmarts destroyed everything.
Walmart. That is where we shop, actually, I should say. We shop at Walmart. It's not my favorite. I actually have not set foot in a Walmart in quite some time.
Thank goodness.
I would say it's been years, besides the garden center.
No, the garden center we go in all the time when it's summer.
But Walmart scares me a little bit.
Yeah, it should. There's good reason for that.
No, people were like I used to physically shop at Walmart when my oldest was a baby. And people, they started to creep me out, coming up to talk to the baby and stuff.
Yeah, and you don't know them, and you don't know what their
People do that in other stores, too, but for some reason at Walmart, it was, extra, there were some creepy people.
Yeah.
But anyway, they do have great deals. They're the best option for where we are. I know other people have Costco.
Yeah.
Other people have, we have, an Aldi too, but for me, I've found that Aldi isn't as reliable as Walmart. I like a one-stop shop, and Walmart has everything I need, and then Aldi sometimes doesn't, or it'll be smaller amounts of stuff than I need. So I don't know. I just haven't really fallen in love with Aldi yet.
Yeah, and Trader Joe's would be fun, but it's the nearest one is
yeah, they're far, and they're also everything's so small. Walmart at
except
least
for their
has
chocolate bars.
I feel part of the savings at Walmart is that you're getting a lot of food.
And we've never been on the BJ's train.
I haven't really given that a shot.
Yeah, I mean, because that's then buying things. Well, the other thing is we have limited storage in our fridge.
Do they do, like, pickup? Could you pick up? Like, that's big for me, is
I don't know.
doing the, like, being able to shop on the computer. Actually, you can save a lot that way because you see, like, it shows you, you can put things in and out of your cart in an easier way than you can physically shopping. Like, you just click them in and out. You see how much 3 of these is going to cost, and you can compare brands, and that's really helpful.
Yeah, I mean, and we have a couple hiccups. One of them is that when we built our house, when we designed our house, we looked at the gap between where our sink is and where our door is, and we said we need to get a super small fridge because there's physically no space for a normal size fridge. And then we bought a super small fridge and we put it in there, and now we realized so easily could have fit a normal size fridge.
It hasn't been as challenging as I thought it would be to fit everything in that.
I think that's because you just kind of start to acclimate to the size of the fridge.
Well, in our, like, when we had a big fridge, I would just, like, forget about stuff in the back of the fridge, and you would find it later, like,
I still forget about stuff in this fridge.
Exactly, we still do, but it's, like, everything's more, like, when you're trying to make room for something, you're like, okay, time to clear out. Whereas in the other one, it could build up, like, the problem was exaggerated.
Yeah, because, like, you could have more stuff hidden away. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I don't feel bad about that stuff anymore because we have chickens. You just turn the rotting junk in the back of your fridge into eggs.
That's right.
Chickens are just like a magical egg vending machine. You just put whatever you want into the chicken, and they eat it because that's what they do. They just eat whatever junk that's rotting, and they make eggs for you. So I mean, that's another little
have
ad.
Chickens if you can. And you, like, because we have chickens, we eat a lot of eggs.
A lot of eggs.
And in the summer, especially, like, when I make my fridge pickles, last summer, so I make mayonnaise from scratch, and I really recommend that because it's so hard to find good mayonnaise that doesn't have gross oil in it and stuff. Even the ones that say made with avocado oil, that's not the whole story. They also still put
soybean oil
and vegetable oil sometimes. So it's hard to find it, and that's not expensive and stuff. So we make our own mayo because it's extremely easy and tastes a lot better. And so I'd make egg salad with our fresh boiled eggs, and then the homemade mayo and chopped up fridge pickles, and that is like what I had for lunch every day last summer.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. The other thing I didn't know was going to be like super controversial, but I brought it up with some ladies at work once.
Ooh.
Is putting raw egg yolk into things to make them creamier, because it really does. It's amazing how it's like raw egg yolk is like adding heavy cream to something without adding all the calories.
It's rich in the B vitamins, and those are like
it's
most people need more B vitamins. Like they're harder to find in, like, I mean, you can take supplements and stuff, but this is like your body assimilates it. What?
Project more.
Oh, sorry. Your body needs
okay.
The egg yolk. I put it in my coffee sometimes. What were you saying? You put it in?
Like the mac and cheese.
Oh yeah,
thickens up the mac and cheese.
Not
and
only
so
does it
creamy.
make your mac and cheese creamy, which that's another thing, is I've started making mac and cheese from scratch, and it's actually not any harder than the box mac and cheese. You literally box mac and cheese. You are just cooking pasta and adding ingredients. When you make mac and cheese at home from scratch, you're dumping a box of pasta in boiling water and then adding ingredients. Like, it's not
even that many ingredients.
It's not, the box mac and cheese is not any more instant than
and it's
from scratch
so bad
mac
for
and
you.
cheese.
Like a vast majority of box mac and cheese, I can actually taste the chemicals in them.
Yeah,
like I never.
And it makes like a teaspoon. Like, it doesn't make a large amount.
And it's not like creamy thick cheese. It ends up like this watery.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't get all the water out, it's like this sticky, watery junk.
So we do put, sometimes we'll put egg yolk in that, and it not only makes it creamier, it makes it more like yellowy. So the kids if your kids are into like orange cheese.
But if anything, if you want to add like a creaminess to something, you don't have heavy cream. And apparently this is why it was disgusting to a lot of people, and I don't understand why. Because I know that the whole...
Well, store-bought eggs maybe would be a little gross.
I don't know. Even at that, I don't think I'd be that grossed out. I think the inside of an egg, unless the chicken was diseased to begin with, the inside of an egg should be sterile. The outside of the shell is where people get sick.
Yeah.
And theoretically, store-bought eggs are washed.
Yeah.
But if you're really concerned about it, wash the egg again and then use the yolk from the inside of the egg. It's sterile. You're probably not going to get salmonella from it.
Yeah, I mean, haven't we all eaten raw cookie dough?
Yeah, it's true.
And haven't we all... Well, I don't know. Do people make eggnog with eggs?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So that's the same thing.
Eggnog is made with eggs. And I mean, to be fair, most eggnog.
Ordering like over easy eggs. Don't you?
Yeah, they're raw egg yolk.
That's raw.
Yeah, exactly. You're eating raw egg yolk regardless.
If you have qualms about it, just think logically.
Yeah.
You've eaten raw egg before.
But yeah, I know, but that's coming back to like, think logically about where your meat comes from. A lot of people don't want to. They don't want to think about the fact that their egg yolk is actually raw in over easy eggs. They don't want to think about that. That's just the way they come. When you order over easy eggs, the yolk is runny. It actually is raw. It's a little warm. But that's it. It hasn't warmed up enough to actually kill the bacteria, if there were any, because then it would be solid.
Maybe your work friends don't order over easy eggs. Maybe
they've
never tasted.
Maybe they
raw
only ever eat hard-boiled eggs that have been boiled for 45 minutes.
Maybe they've never felt love.
Wow.
I'm saying, like, if you've never tried raw cookie dough, like, are you really living? Like, if you've never snuck a little raw dough.
And they usually have whole eggs in them.
Like, just live a little.
Just live a little bit.
Yeah.
Top tip. Just live a little. First top tip was you got to figure it out. Second one is...
Start a safari.
Yeah, start a safari. Third one is live a little.
Live it up.
You are welcome.
Yep.
So... so we were talking about like cooking from scratch. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is that the way you cook something, especially if you're cooking from scratch and you're like, I don't like the way it tastes or whatever, the way that you cook it has a tremendous effect, like a huge effect on how it tastes. And so, cooking in cast iron makes a big difference for us because of the even heating. And like, I guess the best example would be you can throw vegetables in the microwave and cook them until they're soft. Or you can throw them in a cast iron pan with butter and sear caramelize some of it. Like, it's going to make a huge difference.
It will.
On the way that they're flavored. So I know a lot of people ask us about cooking on our hearth.
Oh.
And so you actually can do this yourself if you have any area you can have a little fire in outside. It's just open fire cooking is all it really is. It's just convenient for us.
Start a fire.
Yeah.
Outside.
Preferably. This is a shameless plug too, because I don't think the book is on your Amazon.
Well, what book?
The Men with the Pot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
no, I don't.
We might have to add that. They don't know we're mentioning their book, but it's a great book on cooking.
It's a cookbook for like cooking over fire.
Yeah, it's for cooking over a fire in the woods. It's like you don't even have a metal grate to cook on. You just got a couple of rocks and some sticks. And I liked their book because the recipes are very unique. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's an Amish buggy going by.
Yeah, clip clop of little Amish hooves running by.
And some steel rims on their buggy. But their book was great because it helped us like kind of come up with some unique recipes to cook on the hearth. But cooking on the hearth makes, even, or whatever you're going to do, cooking on an open fire makes a huge difference in the way stuff tastes that normally if it was just like cooked in a pan or even a Dutch oven. If you want to cook in a Dutch oven, the way that things taste when they're cooked on very high heat over open flame with smoke curling into the top of the pan. You know, when you're cooking from scratch, that's like a whole next level flavor introduction in ancient Latin known as introducen. No. So I don't know. I just wanted to mention that. I know people have talked or have asked us about cooking on the hearth, and really it's just cooking over an open fire, and it makes a big difference in what stuff ends up tasting like.
You start a fire, you let it die down.
Till it's mostly cold. You want a little bit of flame.
And then you use a pan over it with either on a grate or on a spider pan is a pan with legs, or a trivet of some kind.
Or the guys on the men with the pot just use a normal cast iron pan, and they get taller rocks around the fire, and they build their fire between them, and that way they can set their pan on top.
And so you let it die down a little bit, and then you cook as you would over a stove. You just can't really adjust the heat very well unless you're stoking your fire.
You can by moving the pan around. You know, if it's too hot and where it is, you move it back or move it forward or move it away from the flame a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that is another next level, like, cooking from scratch skill set, is cooking over an open fire. And if anyone who's listening likes camping, you're already familiar with it. But you know, you only go camping once or twice a year. It's kind of fun to just do it in your backyard. Or if you have a fireplace, you actually, I'm not going to say you should cook everything in there, but you can try it in a fireplace, just a standard fireplace, wood-burning fireplace.
Just be careful, have a fire extinguisher on hand. I feel like we need to qualify this in case someone
have the fire department on speed dial, and have 50 buckets of water.
And if anything goes wrong, do not mention that you listened to our podcast.
We did not advise you. We are not advising you to cook on your fireplace, but we are advising you to try cooking on your fireplace. No, if you don't feel comfortable cooking on your fireplace, but you have a way to do it outside somewhere. It's like next level cooking from scratch, adding that smoke, and the heat from the fire is, I don't know, it's different. I feel like it cooks stuff, it caramelizes stuff so much better than a stovetop.
Nothing like steak cooked over a fire.
Oh, steak seared over like a wood fire, especially if the wood is like hickory. We have a lot of hickory on our land, and so we tend to cook a lot of our stuff on the firewood that we use.
Hickory smoked.
Yeah, the firewood that we use to heat our house is also the firewood generally that we use in our hearth to cook. So we get a lot of like hickory and cherry that we use to cook our food over. But anyway, that's our spiel about cooking. Do you have anything else you would like to add?
No.
Why don't you do History Hour?
Oh, well, okay, so we had at the end of our podcast, we were doing a history segment, and Chris said he didn't like it, so we're not doing a history segment anymore, in case you were wondering why there was random history tidbits, and now there's not gonna be. It's because of Chris, so if you liked them, leave a comment and tell Chris that you want it back.
Also, if you don't want to leave a comment on whatever you're using for an app to listen to the podcast, there is a little option to say send a text. If you click that at the bottom, it's in the description of the podcast, that will send a text to our podcast, whatever software that we use.
Or you can message me on Instagram. Sometimes people try to message me through Facebook, and I kind of ignore it because I don't know.
You don't check it.
I don't really check it much. Sorry about that. Also, email. I might not get your email. But I'll probably see it on Instagram, or Chris will see the podcast thing.
The text, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Nighty night.
Good night.